Hey boy, it's your boy, Master Wigglebits 5 here. It's a similar thing. That's gonna be my new catchphrase, Wigglebits. It's funny because it can be interpreted as any way you want to do it. You want to interpret it very ruggedly? Do it. Alright, let's see if we can't find our house. It's dark here, which is good. House. We have a house here somewhere. Golden Tower. Barber house. Rock's house. Vigerson's house. Wipe. Teabag that. Where the hell was my house?
Hey, you're the one who killed all those bandits, aren't you? Gods, what a nightmare that must have been. What do you want with me?
Nothing. My house has to be around here somewhere. York's house. It has to be my house around here somewhere. Oh god, where did he say it was? Oh right, my Dremorant is. Shit. I have no idea where I am supposed to go.
By the 8! I hear you took on a ballot of orders by yourself, you buffoon. Next time, come and get me.
That's a container. Oh, this must be mine. I got a plant. I got a chest with some weakness to magic. That's good. Let's just take everything for the time being. Lovely, a bed. Oh, hell yeah. We're gonna sleep up tonight. Alright, so we need to figure out who's gonna ruin this for everyone. Alright, let's travel around with my 2 intimidations. Let's travel around with my Gamora pet fighters. Gamora pit fighter. They can be my bodyguards, my very intimidating bodyguards. We'll need some food as well. There we go. That'll last us. All right, let's walk around, talk to people. Good morning, sir.
Ah, the bandit slayer. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, sir. Let's put on my amulet. It is.
Yes, my friend. My story. Well, my name is Degland, and I'm a merchant, yeah? What's people say to me? Degland, they say. Degland, why are you a merchant? They find it surprising because I'm such an honest and trustworthy person. And sometimes you hear about your merchants who are, you know, dishonest. Well, I say to those people, I'm not like them. My father used to say to me, Degland, you can't be like the others. You be a good boy. And I was, my friend. I was not only just a good boy. I was the best boy. The best boy now and the best merchant with the best prices for you. My friend, you're in luck. I actually do, but let's keep it down, eh? Don't want anyone else to hear, do we? But I'll be honest with you, my friend. I'm looking after you. There's a bit of a catch. See, it's only going to work for one person, yeah. I've been keeping it to myself, you know, thinking maybe I'll need it myself one day. But I'm a reasonable guy, yeah. I reckon I could be, what's the word, persuaded? Persuaded to give it away for, say, 1,000 gold coins?
What? No way. Here's your money. 1,000 gold coins. I do have money. That's good.
Oh, good choice, my friend. You won't regret it. Oh, and if you do, no refunds. Not that it'll matter, because you'll be out of here in no time. And here it is. It's called an Elixir of Acrobatics. I got it from an alchemist in Morrowind years ago, and I've kept it with me just in case. And now it's all yours. Once you drink it, you'll be able to jump like a skeever on skooma. You should be able to leap up to the shaft at the entrance. Now go, my friend. Get out of here and be free.
I hear you defended the city from attackers? Well, aren't you making friends quickly? Thank you.
Okay, oh my god. That's right. So, for those of you who don't know, in Morrowind there was a bug. I think there was. I'm very vague, but if you're curious, you can look it up. There was a way to make yourself jump really, like, Superman high in Morrowind. I don't know the details of it. I don't want to give any misinformation out, but if you're curious, you can look up jumping really high in Morrowind. You'll get someone who discusses it. I never played Morrowind. That could be in the next thing.
Hello, dear.
What's your story?
Oh my. It's very nice of you to take an interest in my life, dear. But you don't need to humor an old woman.
Alright, yeah, I'm interested.
Really? Well, you're the first person in the city to say that. Well, let's see. These days I mostly just sweep the streets here, keep them clean. Cleanliness is next to godliness, or so they say. It's not very inspiring, as you can imagine, but the alternative is to wind up like poor Dooley. Oh, you haven't met him yet? Don't worry, I'm sure he'll introduce himself to you sooner or later. He's homeless. He lives in a cave by the lake. I feel sorry for him. I think most of us do. But ever since his brother died, he's been obsessing over some long-lost treasure. The Jarl decided because he can't work, he doesn't deserve to live in a house like the rest of us. So he lives in a tent in a cave of sorts.
Why does that guy have a weapon?
Don't let him drag you into it. I'm quite sure it's imaginary. A great loss can do terrible things to a person's mind. Well, anyway, that's about all there is about me to tell, I'm afraid. I'm not very interesting. Oh, well, goodbye.
Alright.
I heard you took care of some looters for us.
Alright, who the hell are you?
I'm so glad you decided to come see me. What can I do for you, sweet thing?
I'm curious to see what I can do, what my options are.
You want to hear about little old me? Aren't you adorable? But wouldn't you rather hear what I know about everyone else around here? Go on. Ask me. Only one way out of this city, and that's through the bottom of a mug of moonshine, if you get me. Solve all your problems. At least for a while. But then again, some folks will overdo it. Ulrin, the Dunmer fellow, can't miss him, hit the drinks pretty hard after his wife, Maisie, disappeared. Just sits there, night after night. Poor guy. Wish I knew what happened to her. Caught lots of people talking, but nobody seems to know anything. Odd.
A lot of gossip, this one.
There's something creepy about Marius up in the Citadel. Plus, he never comes down to the tavern. And you just can't trust a man who doesn't drink. Did you notice the big crack in the floor near the city gate? They say some poor fool fell to his death trying to scale the front of the Citadel. Nobody here locks their door, except the Jarl. I hear there's a locked room on the top floor of the Citadel, but nobody's seen what's inside. Have you seen Rygus? Walking around in that shiny armor of his all paranoid, like those dwarven statues are going to spring to life any minute. Did you know there are tunnels running all the way under the city? Last one to go down there was Brandis, and it sent him to his deathbed. Did you know that beautiful palace above the lake is sealed? Carl says the last person to go in there locked it behind him. I wonder what's in there. Oh, so soon? Well, you know where to find me, honey.
Alright, this is kind of interesting. Alright, a lot of talking this is gonna be in.
Hello, neighbor. I understand we have you to thank for dispensing with some would-be looters. So, thank you. My story? What a strange question. You presuppose that my life is a simple linear sequence of events which can be summed up in a verbal narrative?
Yes.
Well, that's nonsense, of course. First, most of it was so long ago I barely remember. Second, you would have to assume that the account I give you is biased heavily in my favor, and is therefore quite unreliable. And finally, my story is really much less interesting than this mysterious place. Now, do you have any sensible questions, or can I get back to work? Well, why didn't you say so? I researched Dwarven history and technology, and I'm originally from Kragenmoor in Morrowind. Any other questions? Now that's an interesting question. I personally don't know any way out, no. However, I have a theory. It's more of a hypothesis, really. My thinking is that if there was a way out of here, the dwarves who built this place must have known about it. True, but we can learn all sorts of things about them from what they left behind. Inscriptions, architecture, relics, statues. And while I've discovered many things here, there are some parts of the city I haven't been able to get to. I'm most interested in the palace, above the lake. Unfortunately, it's sealed up tight. Only one man ever managed to enter, and he never came out. That was Narnabas, and we haven't heard from him in years. Strange fellow. I believe he was looking for the secrets of the dwarves too. If you could find a way in there, I'm sure it would tell us a great deal about this place. Who knows what secrets we could uncover.
Well, I have a potion. Find a way into the abandoned palace. I do have a way.
That is the sun under the ground. Or at least that's how it's referred to in the dwarven text we've managed to translate. I must confess, I haven't the faintest idea of how it works. But it seems to be giving us light and allowing us to grow crops, even under the ground. Of course, if it ever stops growing, for whatever reason, we'll all be in quite a lot of trouble. But don't concern yourself with such dark thoughts. I'm sure we have nothing to worry about. Well, the dwarves who built this city left inscriptions in the Citadel, which translate to, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." My research leads me to believe that if a single member of our community sins, it'll trigger an event, killing us all. I believe such an event occurred some years ago, which is why Metellus found the city littered with burned corpses. But to this day, there are many questions we simply don't have answers for. How is the Dwarves' Law still being enforced? How does it work? And we may never know. as long as nobody attacks or steals from anybody else. Until we know more, we all need to be on our best behavior. Time travel. You know, as it happens, I do. It was a great obsession of mine for years after my wife passed. I thought if I could go back, I gave up on that idea a long time ago. But recently the Jarl has asked to see my research notes. How strange that you should now take an interest too. Can I ask what the nature of your interest is in this unusual subject?
Yes, I went back in time.
I don't quite know what to say to that. How can I put this charitably? Perhaps you're tired and emotional and need some rest. But I always enjoy discussing my theories with a receptive mind, so I'll humor you. What did you want to ask? For argument's sake, if you found yourself in that position, you'd have only two options: to live out your days in the past, or force a paradox. A paradox, you see, would involve changing the past so as to prevent the events which caused you to travel back in time in the first place. But you'd be taking a big risk by doing that. Who knows what the consequences would be? Some say that whatever you do, it will lead you right back to the future that took you back in time in the first place. An eternal loop, if you will. But me, I believe that creating a paradox should fling you back to your original time, having changed the past for you and everyone else.
Okay.
Well, let's say for argument's sake that you really have traveled here from the future. You could create a paradox in a few different ways. Essentially, you could do anything that would remove your means or motivation to return to the past. For example, you came here to achieve some goal. Achieving that goal would mean you will never have been motivated to come here. A paradox. Or, if the thing that allowed you to travel back in time is still here, as a past version of itself, you could simply destroy it, I suppose. That would mean, of course, that you will never have been able to travel back in time. Another paradox. But doing so could have terrible consequences. But if you really are from the future, as unlikely as that is, telling me or anybody else what happens next could have disastrous consequences too. I think it's best if we talk about something else.
Nothing. Alright, I'll be going.
Very well. Come back if you think of any questions about something you discover.
There's that palace. Find a way into the abandoned palace. Well, I do have an alchemist potion.
Oh, a new person. Well, welcome to our city. Or whatever it is the Jarl tells us to say. I'm Lukey. I'm what passes for an alchemist and healer around here. I'll be honest, I don't much care for dealing with people, or healing them, but I wouldn't trust anyone else around here with the responsibility. And I guess somebody's gotta do it, right? Oh, don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't like my neighbors. I don't like anyone. Stupid, untrustworthy, selfish, ugly creatures we humans are. But you know what? At least down here, people are on their best behavior most of the time, what with the dwarves' law and all. I mean, people are still bastards, but at least they have to be discreet about it. Nobody's openly violent, and nobody's ever stolen anything from me. There isn't one. This place is like a firefly trap. One way in, no way out. It could be worse, though. You could be living in bloody Skyrim. Yes. Poor Brandis. I've been doing my best to keep the poor fool alive. What of him? He came here with his partner, full of big talk about how Stendar sent them to purge some great evil from beneath the city. Now, none of us know exactly what's down there. But if there is a great evil, then it made the mighty Stendar look like a milk drinker. All I know is nobody with half a brain should go down there. Not without a way to protect themselves from the energy that killed poor Brandis.
About Brandis?
What about him? Yes, I suppose. Just go down and check up on him for me, would you? His house is not far from here, down in the inner ring of the city. Alright, see you soon, neighbor.
Alright, well, let's see this Brandis fella. Fishing at your... Garvar's house, Brandis' house. He's in the inner ring. This shouldn't be too hard to find. No. The abandoned tunnels. He should be one of these houses. Nope. Raccoon's house. Some food. I want to make them well fed. This has to be it. Brandis' house, yeah. Let's do this, then we'll do the under tunnels.
You there. Come over here.
Do you need help?
I'm beyond help. The potions do nothing. And I don't have much time. I just need to tell you something. Stendar, he plants these images in my head. He shows me secrets. Made me come here. Something terrifying. Deep in the earth beneath the city. Powerful. And evil. I went down into the tunnels to destroy it. But the energy, it seeps into your bones. Please. Please, you must find a way to get down there. And finish what
Immortal. Wait, what are these boots? Huh, not bad. Don't steal. Put him back on the bed. There. It doesn't need to be perfect. No reason to let that food go to waste. Talk to Acrobatics about the immortal boots. Wait, who do I talk to? Talk to, Alright.
We can talk, but be quick.
Okay.
I'm Saphira. I'm from Markarth, from a part called the Warrens. If you've never gone there, don't. Just don't. About a year ago, I met a guy there. Said he was there for business. Nobody has any business being in the Warrens. But he had coin, and when he saw me, I saw a way out. Long story short, I followed him here. The more I think about it, though, I would have been better off in the Warrens with the beggars and skeevers. Funny, I was gonna ask you the same question. Because he's incredibly nasty when he gets angry, and if he saw us speaking, he'd be furious. If only... Look, whoever dreamt up the Dwarves' Law didn't think it through. Maybe it was meant to protect people, but what it really does is make everybody too afraid to stand up for themselves or challenge people in power, and Domitus knows that. He's next in line as Jarl of this place, so he gets his way by threatening to punish anyone who doesn't do what he wants. He's never physically hit anyone here, but the point is, he doesn't have to. I've seen him make grown men cry. Nords, they don't cry easily. I cry most days. I think about leaving him, but where would I go? He says he'd make sure I wound up living in poverty again, like poor old Dooley. No, interfering will only make things worse. The only way you can help me is to find a way out of this city, or do something about the Dwarves' Law. I don't know if there's a way out or not, but there are places beneath this city nobody has ever explored. If I were you, I'd start with the tunnels. Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for. Alright, but we never had this chat, okay?
Okay. That's interesting. Alright, I gotta call it an episode. I love every single one of you. I will see you all in the next episode. We did a lot of chatting this episode. Not much combat, but that'll change next episode. Peace.